Hello and welcome to BTC, Beyond the Class with Professor Adeleke. On this channel, this is where you'll be learning beyond the classroom. You'll be learning about real life experiences, personal development, growth, and how you can become the best version of yourself. And I'm very sure that everybody wants to become the best version of themselves. And talking about becoming the best version of yourself, you can't do that without having this very crucial thing, which is personal development. And here we are today with my professor. We are going to be talking about personal development. So before we proceed into go into deep discussion, Prof, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, how are you doing, sir?
You're doing fine. We bless God.
Okay. So I'm glad that we are back on the channel today. We are talking about personal development today. And I'm going to be asking you, yes, sir, what does personal development mean to you, sir?
Yeah, good day, everyone, and you're welcome to this session again. Now, when we talk about personal development, we're actually talking about a process or an action plan designed to improve oneself by consciously working to enhance your talent, your potentials, your skill, and your employability. Personal development is a process that actually enhances the value of your life. Because you can't just set a point and expect to expand, I expect to improve. There are actions, there are steps you must take to reach your desired goal. Personal development also, can I say, is a process that helps you gain a deep understanding of yourself. Because without knowing who you are and having that willingness and willpower to move on, there will be a limit to how far you can actually reach. It helps you to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, your values, and your beliefs. It helps you to know more about yourself, to appreciate yourself in being you. Personal development helps you to discard noise around you. Personal development helps you to focus on who you are, how far you can go, and what you can bring to life. Let me analyze that as actually what personal development actually entails. Firstly, consciousness to do something to better yourself. Personal, that is why it is called personal. And then development. Development is not what to do for people, it's what to do for your personal self. I think that should be for our.
That's interesting. So while talking, you said something about, the last word you said, it's personal.
Yes.
And you are developing yourself. You are not developing other people. So I would like to start with you, sir. How did you start your own personal development and what kept you committed?
Well, it's been a long way. Coming way back from, our school system, primary school, secondary school. In our time, we actually enjoyed free education. Free education at the primary school level, but virtually free at secondary school level. Compared to what we have today, you can say we actually went to private to the free education in secondary school as well. So then, coming out, getting to the higher level of secondary school, you feel as every youth will think, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. There were options in our time. There were options, and there were options, and also there was a possibility of not knowing what to do because the options were a lot. Unlike today, where there are few options, and the few options available, even currently, are so tight. Then I thought I would become different areas of engineering profession. Like that, I never loved being a medical doctor. I just hated that personally because I could not stand a dead body. I could not stand blood flow.
I don't like
so definitely, I would not have seen myself there. But along the line, I was seeing myself zooming in on engineering. But which aspect of engineering I fell in love with electrical? Probably because it was a time in my life I was electrocuted. I almost died. But maybe that work contributed to my choice of electrical engineering. And along the line, developing yourself a lot. I didn't come from so much a rich family, but I came from a family that was that sufficient to send us to school. We didn't have extra, but we had sufficient to get us educated. So on leaving school, you have to continue. I started with the Polytechnic. I didn't finish why I transferred to the university system to continue my program. But along the line, all those I'm mentioning are just official laid down steps to develop yourself, official, so to speak. Something my personal one, there are choices I have to make along the line, which school, which course, and what to do along the line of studying my course. They have to study part of the things I have to do on my own. I'm finishing school, wait for service, compulsory NYSC, came up. I had to, on finishing service, even that was 1999, I just refused. That was what I said, conscious, something about was so consciously, I had to refuse to come back home to my parents. I had to stay back. I must move on. You have to build skill. I have to no matter what, whether you learn a trade, whether you join an establishment, whether you join a school to teach, you are learning a skill. Anywhere you find yourself, be it a private establishment, be it an organized sector, be it a skill, be it somewhere you are learning a trade, in any area you find yourself, you are developing yourself gradually. No development strategy is actually a waste. No development strategy is actually not in tune, because you may need it sometime to come. So I didn't take anything as a waste. Things I experienced on the way, I swallowed them because I knew where I was going. One was I knew a part of me believed I was still going to be in the knowledge industry. So what I did was what did I need to venture this industry? I needed a master's degree. It was a compulsory step into getting to be a lecturer. I had to pursue that, get materials. I didn't say anything too expensive in buying to acquire this knowledge. You had to get books, register for postgraduate programs. Then it was time to go for high degree program as a PhD program. I said I had to just happen. One thing I didn't get fund or scholarship to go. I had to go just on my own because I needed it. One thing I needed, I had to go for. So that's the thing that helped me grow to be what I actually became. I have colleagues, I admit, who refused because there was no sponsorship with their postgraduate programs. They refused to go. Nobody sponsored. I decided I had to go. I took study leave with pay for my school. They granted me. I had to go use the salary from my place of work to pay my school fee and my upkeep in the foreign country. It was not very easy, but I knew where I was going. One thing that kept me going was that end result. I knew where I was going. So nothing in between was too strong enough to debar me. Nothing in between was too strong enough to stop me was too strong to stop me from advancing. In brief of my story.
Wow, that's so interesting. Electrocuted, there's electrical professor. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, thank you, sir. You made mention of where you're talking. You made mention of books, and it seems like in personal development, one has to know exactly where you are going. You need to have a focus, and that's going to help you to shape where you are supposed to develop yourself personally. So, by talking about books, you talk about skills and other stuff. What are the tools that we need for personal development?
Well, as I said, just to that time now, with that angle, really, they will say, some people say, it's a Confucianist idea to say that many roads lead to the market. It confuses you because the particular thing you want to buy in the market, there is a particular entrance to the place. If many roads lead to the market, the particular you are going to enter through may not be particular product you are looking for. So the time you are going to spend in the market will be so much that time you will have spent. If you have not, I can only get one route to my market. So having a focus is quite crucial. Knowing where you are going is quite crucial. If I stay on the road outside Latte Gate and I want to go to Lagos, I may start looking for Lagos car in front of Latte Gate. I will see that only God knows when. I know where I'm going, but I don't know how to get there. His first thing is to know where you're going, and that's not the end. I know where I'm going. How do I get there? I want to be the governor of a state. I don't know about Nigerian history. I don't know about political party system. And I'm thinking of being the governor. I've not started. I only have a dream, which may die in the realm of dreams. So you must know, fine, how do I get there? That will now prompt me, okay, what do I need? Tools. In the engineering profession, we know tools we have. You know tools we need to be an engineer who wants to who wants to fulfill a career in engineering. If I want to be someone, I want to be a movie person, I know tools I will need. Nothing will be too much to get my tools. Along the line, I felt this line I've taken in the knowledge industry to be realistic, to be real to my students. I need to be correct myself. I must be, my doctor I've always known, believe is that at every point of my career, I should be a step ahead of my students. The moment my students are ahead of me in class, they will embarrass me. So that's why those questions that will ask me, I will not have an answer to. Because I also try to pay the price at times. While growing up, while developing, I will not mind buying things, especially gadgets. Some people say I love gadgets. I don't love gadgets because I'm gadget crazy. I don't love gadgets because I'm gadget freak. I like it because I'm gadget savvy. I want to learn about how gadget works. That's why people say, nobody knows everything. I don't know, but I try to pay my dues in some ways I can, as part of the tools for engagement. As a lecturer, you must be updated. Part of being updated, no amount of data will be too much for you to buy per month. I won't imagine you want to you want to deliver knowledge. You want to help people progress in whatever. You want to be someone like a mentor or someone like that. And you cannot spend the night, you're complaining, please share me data. At your level, there's some things that should not be at a particular level you get in life. Please show me, share me your hotspot. Of course, I can share, but I ask people to share me their hotspot because I cannot buy data. And I want to give knowledge to people. I want to teach people. That's one of the tools I'm talking about with respect to my field. Other things, there are specific tools for specific disciplines. You want to be a fashion designer, you don't even know how to use a tape. You want to go to videography. You cannot afford to get a camera. I was telling my students this morning, some of them, they don't have a laptop, which will cost just about 150,000. You can get a correct UK use laptop, HP. But they about 150, less than 200. But not some don't have. But the iPhones they have can buy 10 of IP because 10 of 1,005, 1.5, 1,150K is about 1.9 million. And to get iPhone 14 or 15 today, you must have nothing less than 1.5 million. So some have iPhones, Pro Max, but to get a normal HP laptop, they can't. It's priority. Those things have become tools. Laptop is a tool. It was not on the show. That's why I have one, I have tab, I have my laptop. They do different things at different times. Different things at different times. Now, if I didn't have this, I would have broke my laptop. And having the phone declared at least would distract. So tools, there are specific tools for specific engagements. And everyone that has the mind of going forward must be able to invest in those tools. If investing in yourself is a function of personal development, involves you buying things you need to advance your career. Very, very important. So tools are a necessity. You see people buying, you see somebody who's tomorrow they're buying clothes. It's not like he's a waster. He needs to come out, people must see. So some things are not a waste, they are just prerequisites to progress in that line you have to do yourself, in your career path. So please, the issue of getting tools. Books as well. There's no way you can't be a leader if you don't read. And find the culture of reading in Nigeria today especially has gone so down, so low. That's why people have no choice but to put books in audio format, just to help people, just to force them to read. You have people, personal libraries at home. But a lot of books now on Amazon books, e-books, a lot of books online for you to have access to. Things like that. So tools are necessity for you to move. Always something. Is that if you want to hide something from an African man, hide it in the pages of a book. they won't get there. Because they have studied our psyche that we Africans, we don't like to read. And really, there's no reading without reading. Let me pause there on that question.
Wow, there's no leading without reading. So, for some people, there are different tools to personal development.
They are different.
So I remember one of my experiences. At the point I was learning bass guitar, and I had to develop myself personally. So I used to go around, borrow guitar, try to learn by myself. At the point, the person asked, bring my guitar, I had to return it. So how did I develop myself now? There was no guitar since that time now. I've not been, because I didn't have the tools to learn. So I'm going to ask about something. There are people that really they have desires to develop in a particular thing. They have desires to learn. People are moving into tech now. People want to go into web development, software development, but they can't just afford a laptop. Even the phone they are using, it keeps on hanging, and they can't just get even to afford 3 gig of data. How can they still help themselves and develop in what they want to do, even with limited resources that they have?
Well, that's a very important one, because I also have people around me who are in such dilemma. I have someone who is currently, the person who called me some days back that what she uses just one fairly used iPhone 7, about 6 or 7. And our boss at work gave her work to do on Excel. To do work on Excel. Was that telling me how she going? Well, Excel is not something very easy to use on phones. There's no way you can actually do that. And well, that's an issue. It's a very big challenge. Not having the capacity to get the tools you need for your personal development. It happens everywhere. I faced it myself when I was coming up, when I could not really buy anything. And one thing is important. Focus is vital. Don't lose sight of that particular dream that you have. You may not have able to get data to go on the internet even to get some materials to to yourself. But don't let the non-availability of the tools you need take away the dream. Any little chance we have, get it. Any opportunity you have to learn, it will not be conventional. Someone learn in different ways. Another thing, it may not even that particular thing that you have, and you don't have enough to get the tools for it. You can even learn that why that one is purely, exclusively in your focus. You can just learn some other things alongside, perhaps to help you get finances to get those tools that you need. So it means that the very first thing you will get will be the tool you need for that original dream. For example, I have someone who's currently serving. Our dream is to be a nutritionist, to get the laptop, to do this, to have a web page. But of course, coppers are in at 3,000. How will she get it in a foreign state, in a foreign land? So, unfortunately, there was an opening somewhere in an establishment alien to what she has in mind. Someone who's a Greek graduate, and then has the mind of being a nutritionist, working as a secondary school teacher for PPA, and then getting an opportunity in an estate agency. Of course, she has to go for it. Perhaps get something there to get our tools for the nutritionist career. So along the line, there will be opportunity, sell something. There are some students who are already business people. Just make sure they get some cash, whereas their real dream is yet in the future. So don't let lack of the cloud or change your focus from that dream of developing yourself in a particular area. And one thing I want to add is any little thing to increase your skill, to increase intellectuality, to increase your passion, to make you a better person is self-development. No matter how little it is. If I buy a book today, let's say we're on time, but we borrow a book in the library, for example, and I'm able to devote that book to the best of my understanding. In that area, I'll develop myself. One day, I may need a paragraph in that book. That will help me.
Wow, thank you for that. think people should make sure that, because if we want to limit ourselves because of resources, we will not get to many places. We are not going to even be able to get to that thing that we want to achieve in life. So no advertising should not be a barrier. You can always find alternative around this.
Exactly.
And you can try to, like Oga said, try to find a way, things that can fetch you more that you need to get. If, like somebody that needs data now, and you have somebody that you can do something for, and the person will pay you, can do it, get money, get data, so that you can check your videos and tutorials. I think that I like that.
Let me just chip this in as well. Another thing is that things that are still okay, but we don't use. You can use what you have to get what you need. There's some clothes that are still fine, but you feel in the last 1 year you have not even touched that dress. Can you use it to get cash, to get the tool to develop yourself? I do that. There are things I have. I've not used a month in years. I just got some gadget like that. I just called one of my first students who is into things like that. I need cash with this thing. I don't use it. And I can use the money to get some other thing that I need currently. So you can do that. That thing you may not want to use. I know how to dash. Most of it our female gender, they have clothes they don't wear for 2 years. They wear this party dress. It is Sunday wear. So there's something you can dispose of in exchange for. Thank God things like that happen. We have them now a lot. Swap, trading, a lot of things like that. Even after a sale. That's sale. To get something you need. So people, they are them to be solid content creators. But the phone they have is itel. A low grade techno, which cannot actually create any content. They may need to sell that. Trading, ask someone to get a phone better, compatible for the content they want to create. These are the way you develop yourself. But if you don't attempt it, you won't get there. There was that willingness and passion to move. Newton said, every object remains in their state of rest or uniform motion unless altered by an external force. The external force can be anything. Could be a book you want to buy. Could be a web page you want to get to. Could be a tool. Could be a tool you want to learn. Could be a skill you want to actually gather to move from a state of rest. That's what I'm achieving.
That's good, sir. And I think we can also link to the part of leveraging from other people.
It's very, very important.
So if you don't have data, you have a friend that uses data for TikTok. Please give me your sports. Because I used to have a friend that time in my undergraduate days. This guy, I generally don't have moments to buy mama, but this guy can buy the whole mama as once. I buy it now. Me, I will read it. When I buy it, I'll give that to you. So that's leverage. I think that's
make your opportunity. That's why I just chip this into my students. Connection is key. Connection is key. Even in the task of developing yourself, you must connect with people. You must have connections. So there's somebody somewhere that has what you need. But if you don't connect, you are just a man alone, an island, you can't actually achieve much. No matter how much you try to develop yourself in your room, you can't make it in your room. No matter you want how to make it, even on the mountain top, you can't actually make it alone on the mountain top. So the Irish people today, who are those they move with? People in their class. So connection is key even for develop yourself personally.
Okay, our viewers, please remember to subscribe, turn on your notification, share this video to other people, and for subsequent videos we would like to have it. Also comment and also share your beliefs and your ideas about personal development. So you've been talking about skills, like skills. So what role does skill play in personal development?
Yeah, skill plays a very good personal development because you must know, as I said before, you must know what you want. You must know how to get there. The base of skill is how to get there. There's a what, there's a how. There's a when. And there's a when. The when is applicable if the how is established. Because if you don't establish the how, the when will be open-ended. You don't know. Because there's no way you can have a timeline if there's no how. Everybody has a what. I want to become this, I want to become that. But the how is the issue. That's why people who lack that kind of direction feel they begin to make it up. When we get there, God knows the future. No. You should know the future. You know where you're going to be. You should have clear-cut plans. So skill of skill is very important. Another thing I want to say about that is you must have this growth mindset. You have this growth mindset. Your mindset is about not staying at a point. So at everywhere you get to, every level you reach, your next thing is, I want more. That growth mindset consumes you. And as long as it does that, you always look for tools for that higher level. You always look for tools. You always want to gather skills for that next line. That's very important. That mindset should be what drives you if you are developing yourself. That I can improve. I can get higher through practice and effort. And there cannot be proper practice without proper tools. That's where skills are a necessary factor in self-development. You can't do without it. And I want to say, there's no pride in learning skills. I'm a graduate, I cannot learn fashion. I'm a graduate, I cannot open a barbering salon. I'm a graduate. I have graduates who are driving cabs professionally, maybe. Because no skill is actually a waste. There are things I have also tried to venture in, even with beyond my own career line. In my office, you see a guitar. When they say a party, I have a guitar in my office. I try to learn it. Till today, I've not gotten to play it, but I have it. I have a Nikon camera in my office because I love photography. I never intended to pick a career in photography, but I love taking shots. I may not like taking pictures, but I love taking people pictures. So I love camera. I love phones that have good cameras. I have Nikon DSLR camera in my office that I've hardly used. Understand? So meaning that there's no way, no skill is a waste. It may be offline your career, but if you have chance to learn it, learn it. I have who are graduates now. I have some engineering graduates, some are pastors' wives, some are fashion designers. Things that don't relate with their learning in school. Things like that. So no skill is a waste in the line of self-development.
Actually, a question has been running through my mind since we started this. Well, you have talked about it, and I was going to ask because you usually say that you are at the top of your career, and I was going to say that does that mean that you personal development has stopped since you're already at the top of your career? So does that mean that you're not developing again?
That's a very good question. Really, someone at a level like mine would gladly say that, because on the official strata of any organization, establishment, in the normal hierarchy, there's a time you get to the top of that career, beyond which you are not going anywhere. So I've been in an academic setting, you go to that professor level, of course there's no other promotion you need. At the non-teaching level, when you get to what they call the chief technologist, for example, they're on that place. And in government establishment, you get to one level, maybe level 16, level director or something. That's when you're going after that. But the risk of it is that people feel relaxed when they get to the peak. And one thing about life is, when learning stops, decay begins. There has to be a downward slide for the person intellectually. If you feel okay, you're going to the end of the career, so no need for personal development anymore. You should keep on. You should always have challenges ahead of you. It may not be as you used to when you are in the active service, but other things will be involved in, even while you are at the peak of your career. Now, you're not at the peak of your career. If you are at the peak of my career, does that mean I'm not working again? No. I see you have, I think that's the best time to begin to have people under you, begin people, mentoring people, reproducing people that will take over from you. Because if not later, you will leave the scene, you will leave the stage. You must have brought up people that will take over from you with the kind of life that you live while you're active. So I want to advise people at their career to gesture the issue of developing themselves personally, you keep on developing yourself because that's a spice to life. You can't just stay at a point, whether at the peak of your career or you're just advancing in your career. At times you may stay out of your comfort zone, even at the peak of your career. It may not even be about you, it may be about those coming after you. It may be about those you are mentoring, maybe about those you are trying to bring up in your life, or to make them being better versions of themselves. That's why the issue of uniqueness comes in here. Even as you're advancing your career, before you even reach the peak of your career, there's something you should be known for. I always say if you are not known for something, you would have anything. There is something they know you for. That if this person, everybody knows, this is expected. That's why you put today where I know that if you do something contrary, people get surprised. Because there's kind of a lifestyle they have carved out for them and for themselves. They're very important. So you must know uniqueness is vital. In anything, you're going to be yourself, you're in a career, you are not growing, you have advanced, you have reached the peak. That uniqueness, that authentic nature, not the original you, the unique you, the incontrovertible you. You should know. People should know. It helps you that no matter how you reach in your career, you are still yourself. You don't be fine that, okay, you have trained students all through school. Some years after their graduation, they are hearing about you. That, I didn't need to be like that. So consistency also matters. If they are going to be a fraud when they were with you as a student, and after some years that they have gone now, they still know you as a fraud, that is consistency. If they knew you as a man of integrity when they were with you as a student, 10 years to this time, Shogatimbo, he still doesn't collect. That is consistency. It can be in both ways. So learning never stops. No matter where you reach in your career, personal development should be seen to be constant.
Wow. That's profound. Well, I'm also learning a lot. Personal development. I'm learning a lot. You talked about, you said something about mentoring people. So I will just put that aside now, or I can just combine it together. The previous discussion that we had, you were talking about people, how people can help people to grow, how they can help people in personal development. And now you also mentioned mentoring, and to have a mentor, that's somebody actually. So what role do people play in people's personal development? And if I want to ask, let me just combine with mentor. What does the mentoring also has to do with personal development? I want to develop personally on a particular thing now. What role do people play in that regard? And do I need a mentor?
Men don't succeed alone. No one succeeds alone. I've not seen unilateral success before. Because there's nothing like unilateral success. We need people. And you need people too. You just have to be careful. You have to know the people you need and how to get to them. We have three kind of people today. We have self-proclaimed father figures who look for people to devour. Let me use that word, put it on quote. Before into their hands as in the name of mentoring. The end will be worse than the beginning. So mentoring is a very good aspect when developing yourself. One quick way of getting ahead is surrounding yourself with people who can show you the way. People can show you the way that they have worked in. Not people that can read books to you. People that can share their experiences and how they go to where they are. It makes your journey a bit easier. Because the flaws they made, you will not make it. The pits they fell in on their own way to success, you will escape. So that's the reason mentoring is a very good factor in self-development, in actualizing your dreams. You need people who have gone that path before. You know the way. You don't need to ask. You don't need to have it, to know trial and error. We have three paths. Which one will lead me faster? You have someone who has gone through a particular path and made it. Of course, if you know that, you will not go to the other two paths. You know, this is the way. So there's a need for someone as a guide, as a mentor. So people use model, but there are two different things entirely. Role models, two different things entirely. Mentoring is a deep concept that involves one kind of interpersonal relationship between the mentor and the mentee. But in most cases, it's the mentee, person that needs direction, that needs tutelage, that looks for the person to lead them. It's actually not the other way. Where somebody's going out looking for mentees, then something is actually wrong somewhere, or he has something else in mind. Just put a notice. I'm looking for mentees. Who will suspect? Understand? So it's the mentee that needs to actually look for, by knowing people, by searching, looking around. Even mentors can be recommended. I can, for example, now someone comes to me, and this is what I can really someone that can direct me. Of course, at the level I am, I should know people I can recommend my students to, for tutelage, for training, for mentoring. But there's some places I cannot advise them to go as well because of my own experiences. So you cannot do without it. You cannot say I'm a self-made man. There's nothing like self-made man. I'm a self-made man. I got my millions by myself. It's not done. It's not. I won't say that I'm self-made. Who made you? There's no way you can't get to the top without the assistance, connivance, collaboration of some other people. Someone might have collaborated with you and maybe you went down and you learned a great lesson. Someone have collaborated with you as well and you went up. But there should be a much collaboration. I tell my students in class, as much as you know book, you know people. You can't do without it. You can't do without it. So mentoring is one. Then how it aids personal development, as I said before, it shortens your journey. It makes your journey easier because you have them. That's just surround yourself with people that have gone through challenges. I've gone through hard times and they came out of it. I used to make most time I learned from David to Solomon, some to Rehoboam. The entire battles to make Israel was fought by David. Someone never needed to fight the war. No wonder that was I had time to get 700 wives because there were no challenges. When there are wars, later, will you think of wives?
Yes, peace.
700 wives, 300 concubines. That can only happen in an era of peace.
Yeah, you have to think about battle.
No battle to fight. So that sometimes when you are too much relaxed, you tend to debar your growth. Everything is available for you. You tend to debar your growth. The same thing I believe was also passed on to Rehoboam. The father never fought. David fought. There was nothing else to fight. Solomon came. Someone had nothing to fight. And then over that order of freedom to Rehoboam. No one had chance to be going, old men, what's your advice? Young men, what's your advice? Because there was no battle. And eventually that led to the split of the kingdom of Israel. So the people we learn from, you also have a say in how we develop. If everyone had one or two wars to fight, perhaps, if Solomon also had tasted about one or two battles, at least two, and I won't believe me, will not have been up to 700. But he had to no war. No war. Meaning that I'm saying the people we think are our mentors, we have to know the kind of value they will add to us. Are they going to lift us up? Lead us at the same position, or lead us down?
I hope you're enjoying yourself. Please don't forget, because this is profound. Remember to share this video to other people and subscribe. Please, we want to see your comments. Comment and let us know what you think about personal development. And if you have questions too, please drop your question in the comment section. We are going to attend to them. So, Prof, sir, people make mistakes in life, even in personal development. And from your experience, before we finish about this topic, from your experience, I want to talk about maybe the mistakes that you have made in your own personal development growth, and also the mistake that people can make. Someone like myself, what are the that I can make what are the likely mistakes that can happen to me in growing personally, in my personal development, in my self-discovery journey?
Mistakes, errors, missteps, I believe, are part of life. As long as you're on this side of eternity, as long as you are humans, this is about to happen. But the tragedy is not bouncing back after the mistake, or not learning from the mistake. I was talking to someone recently. There was a scandal that engulfed that person in the year. It's a real scandal. And someone asked the person, is there any lesson you've learned from this scandal? He said, nothing to learn. It's tragic to go through mistakes and not learn from it. So errors, mistakes are bound to happen. On my own line, on my career development, career growth, I've made mistakes. I've made errors. But one thing was sacrosanct. I knew where I was going. If I'm on a journey and along the way I have an accident, does that mean the where I'm going stops? Could get up, re-strategize, and move on my way. So along the line, so youth will definitely make mistakes. But one thing that is quite true is make sure you get up and get going. Get up and get going. I want to use 4P formula that we use in self-development. 4 P's: plan, prepare, practice, and perform. I'm doing planning. I'm doing preparation. You must practice. Practice helps us to avoid errors. Practice may not remove errors. It can limit the number of errors we go through in achieving our goal. That's why David also admitted it in David. Even though I fall 7 times, I will rise. Because he knew there was that propensity to fall. But he believed after the fall, there must be a rising. So everybody used to have this mind. Mistakes are coming anyway. Mistakes of marriage. If you marry a wrong partner, you're already undergoing a shortcut. A short circuit in your life. Because that person you are taking as your partner will definitely either help your personal development or limit you. So if you make the wrong one, that's a very, very strong mistake you have made. And if you marry such a person, it's an internal mistake you have made, actually. So a lot of mistakes in career choice, in what to work, in where to settle, in where to go, those things, the kind of tools to get even, those things also could constitute errors, mistakes in personal development. But one thing is certain, that said, whenever you make mistakes, admit the mistake, learn from it, and go forward.
Admit the mistake, learn from it, and go forward. Well, thank you for joining us on this amazing channel today. Thank you for joining us on these personal developments, and I hope that you've learned 1 or 2 things. So before we end this video, I just want Prof to just give you a summary of everything. Personal development, what people should do, like he has talked about what people should do to develop themselves personally, and how they should make sure they do it in a way that at the end of the journey, what they will see is personal development and not that they have destroyed themselves. So just in a few seconds so that we can.
All right, thank you. In rounding off, you have said what personal development is. Anything you do to aid your employability, to improve your skills, to boost your knowledge, to make you a better person. All of them constitute what they call personal development. You have talked about the ways you can develop yourself practically, and how you can we have established that personal development is a must in achieving your career dream. In being what you want to be, in being a better version of yourself, personal development is compulsory. You want to talk about you need mentoring, you cannot do it alone. Get people, get mentors that can lead you, that can make you avoid the pitfalls that they made, that can make your journey shorter, that might make your stress a bit lighter in the journey of achieving greatness. So I think with this, you'll be able to you'll have captured what we're actually discussing today about personal development. And lastly, the 4P formula, you should not forget, you must plan, prepare, practice, and perform. Thank you.
Okay, so plan, prepare, practice, and perform. If you plan, prepare, you practice, and you not perform. That's a problem. So thank you for having us today, and we hope to see you in our next video. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, bye bye.